Cade, what's the biggest difference with this offense so far through camp?
I think we've just had a really good mindset more than anything. I think that, first of all, we were a really young team last year, and it's a team that's just a lot smarter in an offense. Just for me personally, just having a year under my belt, just a smarter football team, guys that have got a little bit more experience, kind of all over. When it comes to receivers, offensive line, quarterback, running back, just a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball now. And a lot of just returning starters. So I'd say that's one of the biggest things. Is just getting to come back in the same offense again is huge. Not having to have your first fall camp in a new offense and kind of getting to run things you've already been running. It's just it's huge. So I think that's been huge for us.
Are you able to look back now and sort of appreciate that learning curve for not just you but everybody in year one of an offense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking back and some of the not even like it's not even about throwing a 50-yard vertical route. It's just little things about that I just feel like making plays that I wouldn't have made last year. Just smarter plays that I've just learned how to manage the game better. Just getting to play, and I've kind of seen that. I feel like the coaches have seen that through me, and but I think that's just kind of all over. We're just doing things that we wouldn't have done last year and we're doing now, or we would have done last year and we're not doing now. So, just a team that is more experienced more than anything offensively.
You're talking to some of your teammates. They were saying you were having over the offseason like weekly, maybe even twice a week meetings, just player led. Like, how did that come about? What was the idea behind that?
Yeah, I think just more than anything, we just want to be the smartest team on the field, and that was kind of something that me and Paul Tyson had talked about, and Coach Riley talked about. Is just ways to kind of take a step that's that might not be something that the coaches are setting up, but they can definitely encourage and help us with in a legal way. And just kind of using Coach Riley. Obviously, it was all player led and something that I kind of initiated, and some of the other leaders on the team and on the offense had initiated. But just little things. I mean, nothing crazy, but just kind of meeting up here and there throughout the week. Just watching kind of last year's stuff and kind of staying in the offense. So whenever we hit fall camp, it wasn't like we're doing a full install and learning the offense all over again. It's just something we had been doing.
I think I heard that you were like even telling receivers like I want you in this specific spot. Maybe is that just having an understanding of the offense and like being also feeling like you're a leader now? You can tell people this is exactly what I want.
Yeah, absolutely, and just being in the offense more. I know where the guys kind of need to be for it to be perfect in whatever coverage they're doing. So, just finding ways to make sure they're in the right alignments and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely something that was big for us this offseason.
Tyler Venables kind of said your leadership has grown over the offseason, off the field and on the field. I called you executioner on the field, I guess. How do you approach that mentality, and how did you kind of like get it going?
Yeah, that's obviously a pretty big compliment come from Tyler. Just kind of him being a leader in this program, and just for him to say that about me is honestly huge. Just because somebody that I look up to a lot, and the leader that he is on the defense, a guy that's probably one of the smartest people on the field, just knows ball better than anyone. So definitely thanks to him for that. But I think just the mentality of looking back at last season and seeing what I can do better, and I think that I've always been a natural leader, and I feel like I'm finally getting to fully step into that role this past season, or this past off season. So.
And Tyler also mentioned like you guys kind of like share things you've seen from each other's perspectives, like a tip or a share, like kind of gave up the coverage, things like that. How have those conversations been with the defense and vice versa?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, obviously, I don't want to, in practice when we're going against each other, I don't want to, help him out, but I do, because we're on the same team. So, telling him, if I'm seeing him, tip off a coverage or something like that, I want to tell him that. That way, when it comes to game day, he's not tipping off the other team's quarterback in certain ways. So just to help him out in certain ways, and at the end of the day, we're just trying to make each other better. And I think that's what's, that's been the best thing about this fall camp in the summer and the spring. It's just, our defense is making our offense better every single day.
I'm just wondering what the dynamic is like now, having Taj Boyd and John Ross, who are all field staffers now.
Yeah.
Can coach. Like, what does that actually add for the quarterbacks?
Yeah, say we're doing like a team-on-team period or something like that, and Coach Riley's obviously the offense coordinator, so he's going to be calling the plays for the next the next group of guys going in. So while he might be preoccupied, I'll be able to just kind of stand behind the quarterback, get the reps, and sit next to Taj, and we can just talk through, right? So it's like I'm getting a whole nother rep every single time that CV or Trent are out there. So that's been huge for me, whereas before I couldn't talk to Taj. Taj kind of would have to just kind of shut me away at times just because he couldn't talk. So just to kind of have a resource like that, him and Coach Cross, to just immediately come back to the sideline and say, hey, what'd you see here? Did I make the right decision? Did I trust my eyes? Did I have the check down? Stuff like that. It's just kind of immediate feedback, but also someone to talk to as I'm watching CV. All right, hey, just talking it through, getting a true mental rep is big. So.
Talking to Colin Sadler, he said it was important for every player to have a why going into the season. He mentioned his late grandfather. Is there maybe a why for you heading into the season?
That's a good question. I want to go be the best I can be and be the best leader for this team. That's my why right now.
Coach Sweeney said, for you guys' first scrimmage, he said you had an outstanding day. I guess what was working for you that day? How did you feel? I guess during that scrimmage.
Obviously, honestly, it was fun to get back in Death Valley. It was the first time back in there, so it was definitely fun to get back in the valley and just kind of envision it. And but I think I think it was a good day for the offense. I think we did a good job up front of executing, and Phil kind of started us off with some big runs right off the bat, and great job with Adam Randall had a great day making some big time plays, and I think the best part was just spreading the ball around. It wasn't like one or two guys were making 10 or 12 catches each. It was kind of spreading the ball around and being efficient with the football, and everybody just kind of did their job. We just kind of put drives together.
And Adam Randall mentioned last week, he stayed out to practice a little later to get more catches in with you. I guess how crucial are those extra reps after practice with Randall and other receivers trying to get that rapport going?
Yeah, it's huge. Something we've been working on all summer, and especially something like fall camp and the end of summer is, the routes that you can hit, 100 out of 100. You don't really need to get 5 more of those after practice. You can hit that every single day, especially with guys like Adam and Antonio that came in with me where we've got great chemistry. But working on the routes that we might only throw one every 3 or 4 games, but that one opportunity that we do get to throw it, let's make sure we get it right. So just creating that comfortability whenever we do get in that spot. Hey, I made this throw before. Let's go do it. You know what I mean? So that's just stuff that we've been kind of working on.
I think Khalil and Davion maybe last week said, man, Coach Riley's going really deep into his playbook, unlike last year. Coach Sweeney said they don't know what they're talking about. It's the same plays. In your eyes, can you expand on that? Is it just a matter of you guys are playing better and executing better in the plays? They're just working because of that?
Yeah, you can't ever trust a DB with what they're going to say. So, I think that, we're just going to work every single day. And, sorry, Shelton and KB, we're doing good. No, I'm just kidding. But, it's Coach Riley's kind of right. They don't exactly know what we're doing every single day. So, Coach Sweeney's right. They don't really know what we're doing and stuff like that. They're going out there the same as we are, not knowing what the defense or the offense is going to do. We're not scheming against each other, so we're never going to scheme against our own defense and what they're going to be running against us. We're just going to run our stuff, and what happens happens. So obviously when we get to a game, then we're going to scheme against that defense. So
how much do you think your comfort in year 2 is going to translate to comfort as a runner, not just on the zone read, but also just using your legs to climb the pocket and freelance?
Yeah, I think just having that experience under my belt and knowing when to get out and truly having a college football play clock in terms of when the ball needs to get out of my hands or when I need to take off is something that I feel like I've developed and gotten better at. So, and when scrambles happen and not forcing stuff downfield, maybe just taking off and getting 3 or 4, 8 or 10 yards. So.
Sweeney mentioned on Saturday just how much deeper this receiving room has gotten, especially with the addition of Wesco and TJ Moore. Just how has this receiving room improved, and what have you seen from the freshmen?
Yeah, just super proud of them. I think that they're one group. I think that's how they view each other. Whether you've got 2 freshman All-Americans like Tyler Brown and Antonio Williams. There's nobody in that room with an ego or thinks that they're better than anyone else. And I think that's kind of how the whole offense is. There's nobody that thinks that they're above anybody else, which is huge. That's how you need to be efficient as an offense. So to be able to do that and everybody just work together, like they're just trying to go be the best that they can be. And I'm really proud of those guys, just the humble work that they've been doing. Just really proud of them.
has there been any difference this year in how the protections are called? I mean, I think I recall last year, correct me if I'm wrong, the center called the protections, or is that? Or,
Kind of.
okay.
I mean, not, I'm not really probably gonna answer that one. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the backup quarterbacks, what have you seen in practice that makes you think they've taken a step forward?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like any other college quarterback, I think anybody's going to make a huge step in their year two. And for CV, he's just he's learning the game even more and just being more efficient with his legs and making better decisions and making great decisions when it comes to just pre-snap decisions and just finding the guys that he really needs to get to. And then Trent's been doing a great job in terms of just being an incredible leader. But then just going out there when he gets out there and being a baller. He's just, when that ball is in his hands, he's going to make plays. And, really proud of him. I think that, we're a really tight group. Overall, probably one of the tightest groups in a QB sense that I've felt. So just really proud of him.
With the center battle with Ryan, Trent Harris, I guess when they put a new center in and take one out, is that kind of a difficult switch for you? How's it adjusting to each different center?
Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't really affect me too much, just because, it doesn't affect me too much. At the end of the day, it's probably going to affect those front five more than me. But just trust them. I mean, I trust all three of them to go in there and play a football game, and they all have done that. So I think that whoever gets in there, I'm excited for them, and it doesn't affect me really.
Adam being somebody that you've lived with, you just told us that he printed up like wide receiver U shirts and said "prove it" on it. I think Coach Grisham was talking about how he stepped up his leadership as well. Like how different is he just in terms of his confidence level and kind of where he is mentally and physically going into this year? Do you think?
Yeah, I think he's just playing super free. I think that's the best way to say it, man. He's playing so free with a nothing to lose kind of mindset. Just every time he steps on the field, I think just the love for the game that he has, it inspires me. And we're walking on the field today, and he's just yelling, "Man, I love football. We get to play football today. Man, I love football." Like just by himself, like, he's just telling himself that. He's not talking to me. He's not talking to anybody. But just the way that he gets. I mean, when you have to sit out and you're hurt. Go ask Walker Parks the same question next time y'all get to see him, and go ask him how thankful he is to be able to play football again. He didn't know if he was ever going to play again, and just guys like that, whenever you face a big time injury, it makes you grateful for every time you come back, and it might take a little bit. He was a little bit slow coming back because it's a big time injury, and you might be a little slow coming back like he was last year. Not that he was slow coming back, but just in a sense that you got hurt, you don't want to get hurt again. But he's just playing free. He's just playing super free, and just the way he's playing, he's playing really smart, but just the leader he is, and the way he leads those guys in a relatively young room, it's really, he does it really well.
You think maybe the presence of freshman receivers has lit a fire under not just Adam, but the other returning receivers as well?
I think that kind of what I said earlier. I think that they're honestly working together, every single one of them. Coach Grish's done a great job by that of just bringing them all together, and I think Antonio and Adam, I think they lead that group. They really do, in a really special way, and I think that they're both killing it in that sense.
There's been a lot made about the off-season work you've put in, whether it was Banning Passing Academy, the Elite 11 appearances. Just how have you seen that translate, I guess, into your game starting in these next couple weeks of fall camp?
Yeah, it's little things. It's nothing dramatic. Just a couple little tips that I heard here and there, and it was definitely some cool experiences getting to talk to some guys that did it at a really high level and are doing it still at a really high level. So, definitely some pretty cool opportunities that I got to have. But it's just it's little things, and I think the biggest things that I've been able to grow honestly has been with our coaching staff and just this offseason talking to Coach Riley and Coach Sweeney and seeing how I can get better and just trusting that and going to work.
One of your mentors, Nick Foles, retired from NFL over the past couple days, I guess. What is he meant to you over your career, and just how are you for his career and over you throughout yours?
Yeah, man, Nick's awesome, man. One of the best dudes that I know in terms of just being a dude. But you know, I thought he retired a few years ago. To be honest, no, I'm just kidding. He would probably laugh if I said that. But you know, it was cool to kind of see him retire with the Eagles. That was really sweet, and you know, he helped me throughout the whole high school recruiting process, and all of high school and my high school career, and whenever I got here, and kind of how to come into a college program. Called him a couple weeks ago, just saying, hey, you got any tips on how to use a headset, and just stuff like that. So just kind of when you have a guy like that who's played the position that I play at the highest level you can possibly play and win on the biggest stage in the world, just really thankful to have a mentor like that has kind of stood in the fire like I have. So
You mentioned Walker, just the fact that he's been able to make it to this point of the grind of camp has to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe reflect on that, what it means that he's still out there, and just to him, I guess, the confidence and all that.
Absolutely. I think exactly what you just said. I think just the confidence that it probably brings him is huge, and with me, just knowing that he's sturdy and he's ready to go. He looks incredible. I mean, just look at him, like just his arms and his body, like he looks great. He looks sturdy, and obviously he's put a ton of weight back on, and just really looks really mobile, and just excited to have him back. I mean, just the leader that he is. I think every room needs an older guy, and he's kind of that guy to that group, and just it's so fun to have him back, and just I love Walker. He's such a great guy, and one of my favorite people on the team. So he's awesome.
We were talking to Devontae Cade, you saying the offensive line has a new DNA, just they're playing differently. I guess obviously Coach Luke brings a certain fire.
Yeah.
Like, what have you seen?
I've seen just a group of guys going to work every single day, with a fire in their heart, and a fire to go get better every single day. And I think that this season, I think that they're going to be able to show off the hard work that they've been putting in. I think that's really what it comes down to, and just really proud of him. I'm really proud of how vocal they are. Marcus and Tristan and Blake. I think that those three really have stepped up a lot vocally when I need them. Like just the relationship that we all have has really stepped up a ton this year, and just really proud of them and the way that they've been just leading that room.
It's just at running back, obviously we know Phil is there, but for Keith Adams, it's very unique. Obviously, the way he runs, what have you observed, and just the way he kind of changes things when he's in there, and then obviously guys like Jake Haynes and David.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a really good running back room. Obviously, Keith Adams is having a heck of a fall camp, and then Jay and David are both just absolutely killing it. Whenever you have a guy like Phil Maffa, you're not gonna run him out with the ones and get 100 plays every day, because that's how you manage a football team. When you go to the NFL, you're not gonna have whoever getting a million live contact reps whenever you know what he can do out there. So we've had obviously Keith, Jay, and David just kind of getting in there more for more experience, more opportunities for them to show what they can do, and they've all been killing it. Just really proud of the way that no ego guys, just guys that want to come to work every single day, and just hardworking guys, and when they get the ball in their hands, they make plays. And that's really what we need, and smart football players, and just really proud of them and the way that Phil's been leading them, and the way that Coach Spiller's been coaching them.
Anybody else for Cade?
I guess just one more. Jake Brings still, I think he was like 237 pounds last year. He's like 240.
Yeah.
How different is he now at tight end? With extra kind of size.
Yeah, I mean, he can just do more. He hasn't lost any of his athleticism and size, but just he was already a great football player, and he can just do more. And I think he feels even more comfortable in the way he's at, and just excited to be able to go play a football game with him. Just the way that he can do really anything on the football field. But then we've got great guys right behind him, Josh Sapp and Olsen and Marcus and Christian. I mean that's a really good tight end room. Just really excited about that whole room, and they've got great chemistry, and they're a fun group for sure.
Anybody else? All right. Thanks, Cade.
Appreciate y'all.